Hey, JW here. Little dramatic intro. I thought it'd be fun. Anyway, what else is going on today? Did you happen to see that riot in Rochester last night at a restaurant? Families, people, couples, just enjoying themselves, going out to eat after being locked down all these months. They were outside, looked like they were all enjoying themselves and having a good time. And all of a sudden, the bad guys descended upon them because in the new world, the new Democrat world of the new world order, good times, nah, that's not going to be part of the deal anymore. You see, that's just more white guilt. We don't have good times anymore. Nobody has good times. And during the course of the riot, it got quite violent. I'm going to see if I can try to pull up the video on that. Many of you may have seen it already. I don't know, but it's worth seeing again if I can find it. Let's see if it is. They call it a protest on YouTube, of course. Protest. Yeah, sure. It's a protest. All right. I think this is it. Yeah, here it is. So, the whole thing's a joke, of course. It's about as much. It is. It is. These animals. That's what they are. Savages. Nobody's going to touch them. Calm down. They're throwing chairs at them. Watch. Calm down. Just get hit with a chair. Here, this. Calm down. Nobody's going to hurt you. Yeah, we're just throwing chairs at you. They thought people should stay. No, what are you nervous about? Stay and watch the fun. So, anyway, we all know this is going to end sooner or later, but the question is it going to end peacefully or is it going to end with blood in the street? I don't see how we can avoid it not ending the latter. These people are not interested in any kind of peaceful ending to this. Look at this, these people just out having minding their own business, girls having dinner together or lunch, whatever. And look at this. Yeah, this is the way they're treated. Because obviously, having lunch with some friends is white privilege, huh? Um, I was thinking today. I really feel the people I feel most sorry for actually are the peaceful blacks. The vast majority, by the way, about 99% of them are not looking for this kind of crap. And I think Trump's going to get a bigger black vote than any Republican president in history. Because I have to believe that black people who see this, black people who work, pay taxes, obey the law, they're not going to take kindly to any of this. And I think we're looking at a turning point in our society right now. I think in some respects, this can be the best thing that ever happened to this country, although they ruined a lot of businesses and hurt a lot of people. And the results are going to go on for a long, long time. We're going to see more suicides. But in the end, I think maybe it could be a good thing. I think people are waking up finally. I hear people all the time telling me, people know that I'm a conservative, and some people call me even an anarchist or a friend of mine. He's a good guy. He's like a brother to me. I love the guy. And he made a comment to me today, all in good spirit and good fun. He's a great guy. And he could be the most liberal guy in America, which he's not, but he's certainly not a conservative. He leans, I'm sure he votes Democrat, but he could do anything, and I'd still love the guy because he's like family to me. So, and he feels the same about me because he said, I don't care if you're a hard right, I don't care if you're an anarchist or whatever. He mentioned something else. I got a big kick out of it. You know, he said we're still friends for life, and I agree with him. We are. So anyway, I hope this ends better than I believe it will. I'm not talking about this particular right. I'm talking about in general the societal effect that this is going to have right now. This is right out of the Saul Alinsky playbook, and it's 100% communism. This is what communists do. They put the fear of God into you, and then they need you to be subject to them. Okay, like you saw how frightened those girls were. If this maybe happened instead of in Rochester, New York, if this possibly happened in Texas, those girls sitting at that table might have they would probably holster. There would probably be at least one or two of them would be holstered up, and you know what? I'm not saying they would have fired at the people, but they would have let them know, get the F out of my face, man, or you're gone. Simple as that. They don't mess around down there, and I think on the East Coast, like we come from, we need to toughen up, because they're taking advantage of nice people and peaceful people. But eventually, people realize that they're trying to harm my children. You saw some of those girls were young girls, and if a father was with them or saw this on video, I think they just red pilled Rochester, okay? And I think they red pilled a lot of places in this country. And I think the election's going to reflect that. Now, the thing you have to be concerned about if you're somebody who believes in fair elections, and that's on both sides, left and right. I hope the majority believe in fair elections. And I'm convinced that Nancy Pelosi and that gang are going to pull some shenanigans in order to get the mail-in votes are a joke. I was reading up on them. I got a notice on Facebook when I went on Facebook today that if I wanted to get a mail-in ballot to, print it out, bring it down to your polling place and deposit it at your polling place, and then they'll send you a ballot, and then I guess you bring it back or mail it in, whichever. But, first of all, I was thinking of maybe doing this just to test it, printing out, I don't know, maybe one a week can get down because they have the early, you don't have to vote until, I think the mail-ins have to be in by November 3rd. And I was thinking of you submitting one a week just to see what happens. This is just to get the ballot, okay? And I just want to see how it's set up. Are they really set up properly for this, or is it just going to open the doors for massive voter fraud? And I'm fearing that it's the latter. Anything that the government touches, they should just leave well enough alone. In-person elections have worked for well over 100 years, and I don't see why they can't continue to work. There's always been the option of absentee voting. I've voted absentee on a couple of occasions. When I was working as a flight attendant, I knew the possibility existed that I would have a trip on that day. And so I always, if I thought it would, I always took an absentee ballot on 2 or 3 occasions where my schedule showed that I had the possibility of being working. So there's nothing wrong with getting an absentee ballot. It's legit. It's, as far as I could tell, a pretty safe way of voting. But now they have to add in this mail-in ballot as if people are being denied the ability to vote. Come on. Give me a break, will you? I've never seen or heard anyone not being able to vote if they went down there in person and they gave legit information. You can't walk in and give an address and then give the wrong name or whatever. But if you're legit, they don't even ask you for an ID, um, which I think is crazy. You need an ID to pretty much do anything else in our society now. But if you go to the library and you don't have a library card with you, and you ask the librarian if she could maybe let you check the books out, and I'll give you my name and address, they would say, well, I need to see some identification. Now, you know, voting, I think, is probably considered the most important right we have, in terms of exercising our right to vote, is pretty important. So anyway, I don't get it, but this is what the country has become, unfortunately, and it's very sad. It's very sad. And but anyway, this is JW, and I'm going to be signing out. And I hope you're all well. I'll talk to you soon.